Okay, we are analyzing rational functions, and what we need to know how to do is find the vertical asymptote, the horizontal asymptote, the domain, and the range. Now, involved in finding the range, we have to know the max and the min, but this one doesn't have a max and a min. So we'll write max and a min over here, realizing that we will need it in a minute, but not right now. Max and min. Okay. So, what is the vertical asymptote? You just look at the graph. You see where the line going straight up and down is. Look, they're counting by fours. 4, 8, 12. So that's -4. So x equals -4. That's the vertical asymptote. What's the horizontal asymptote? Well, they're counting by fours again. 4, 8, 12. And this is halfway between 0 and -4. That's y equals -2. Right? That's the horizontal asymptote. So what's the domain? Well, remember that this graph goes forever this way and forever this way. So how wide is the graph? That's what we're asking. And you might say, all real numbers. But that's not exactly true. You have to start on the left side, and you go until you get to the asymptote, because there's no graph there. Remember, it's a line that it can't cross. It's a fence or barrier. So it can't cross that barrier. So that means from -infinity to -4, which is the vertical asymptote, right? And then it starts up again. There's another graph. There's two graphs there. So you need to have two domains. And this one goes to the right-hand side, right? So this one starts and stops at -4. This one starts at -4, goes to the right. That's what that is. So the range is the same way. You start at the bottom and you go up till you get to -2. This one goes this way and it never gets above -2. This one goes this way and it never gets below -2. So if we're talking the y values, then from -infinity up to -2, right? And then from the other side of -2 on up to the sky, right? So this one doesn't have a min or a max, so we don't have to worry about the min or the max on this guy. That's the domain and range, vertical asymptote and horizontal asymptote. That's what you're going to be doing today in class in your book. So let's see if we can get rid of all this junk. Can we erase everything all at the same time? I don't know. Sort of, kind of, maybe. I should have left the words there. What was I thinking? I'll leave range. And then we'll write the other ones back. Okay, so we had the vertical asymptote, we had the horizontal asymptote, we had the domain, we had max over here, and we had min over there. Okay, so let's look at another graph that's extra tricky. Let's look at, did I go too far? I went too far. There we go. So, this one. Now once again, here you have to see how are they counting. So this one has two vertical asymptotes. See, one's at -2, so -2, -4, -6, -8. It's -2, so x equals -2. That's one. And then the other asymptote's at +2. X equals +2. So it has two vertical asymptotes. Right? Now, what's the horizontal asymptote? Well, if you look, it goes, what is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. This is -4. So y equals -4. Now you have to have x and y when you're talking about asymptotes. You have to know that the straight up and down is x equals, horizontal is y equals. So we did that. Now we're ready to say the domain. What's the domain? Well, this has three pictures. So you're going to have 3 domains. What's the domain of this side? Well, it's everything from the left-hand side of the world. Remember, this goes out to negative infinity. This goes out to negative infinity. From the left-hand side of the world till I get to the first asymptote. And then, between the 2 asymptotes, there's this picture right here. So that's from -2 to +2. And then after the asymptote, after +2, then there's this picture over here. So that's from +2 all the way to infinity, right? That's the domain. Now what's the range? Well, the range, you have to know the max and the min. Well, this one doesn't have a max. It goes up to this line and it can't get across it, right? Neither of these 2 sides have a max. So we can say that the range of the bottom 2, they're the same range. The bottom 2 graphs have the same range because they start at negative infinity and they go up to this line right here, which is -4. And they don't ever touch it. So that's the range of the bottom 2 graphs. What's the range of the top graph? Well, I have to know, does it have a max? No, it doesn't have a max. Does it have a min? Yes, it does. The minimum is 0, 0. So I can tell you that the domain, the range starts, for this little graph, it looks sort of like a U, right, or a parabola type graph. It starts, the lowest point on this graph is, in fact, 0, because that is a bracket at 0. And then it goes up forever. So I know the domain and the range. Now, this one, we can find where it's increasing as well. And that's all I care about, just where is it increasing, right? This side is going down, 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 down. So it's not increasing right here. This side is going down, down, down. Remember that you have to start on the left side. You're driving your car down, down, down. But once it hits 0, then it starts going up. So this guy, remember when you're telling me where is it increasing, you have to tell me the x values that make the y values go up. I want to know what x values make the y values go up. Make the y values, right all over that word, go up. Right? So what x numbers? In between 0 and +2. What? Yeah. See, it starts here, and it goes up, 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 until it gets to +2. Remember, it never can cross that line, so this goes up forever. From between 0 and 2, it's increasing. Now, there's no answer at 2 because that's an asymptote. But this graph goes up, 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 the whole rest of its life. So where does it start? What x number does it start at? It starts at 2. And then it goes off to infinity. It's always going uphill for the rest of its life. Going uphill, going uphill. Now, it's also going sideways, but it's continually going uphill. So, did we analyze this graph? Yes, we did. We found where the vertical asymptote is, what the horizontal asymptote is, what the domain, the range, didn't have a max, and it did have a minimum, so we had to use that whenever we talked about where it's increasing, and that's all we wanted to know. Boom! We're done.